How to Write Literature Review for Research. Presented by Dr. K. Ravichandran. A literature review surveys books, scholarly articles, and any other sources relevant to a particular issue, area of research, or theory, and by so doing, provides a description, summary, and critical evaluation of these works in relation to the research problem being investigated. Literature reviews are designed to provide an overview of sources you have explored while researching a particular topic and to demonstrate to your readers how your research fits within a larger field of study. Importance of literature review. A literature review may consist of simply a summary of key sources, but in the social sciences, a literature review usually has an organizational pattern and combines both summary and synthesis, often within specific conceptual categories. A summary is a recap of the important information of the source, but a synthesis is a reorganization, or a reshuffling, of that information in a way that informs how you are planning to investigate a research problem. The analytical features of a literature review might give a new interpretation of old material or combine new with old interpretations. Trace the intellectual progression of the field, including major debates. Depending on the situation, evaluate the sources and advise the reader on the most pertinent or relevant research, or usually, in the conclusion of a literature review, identify where gaps exist and how a problem has been researched to date. The purpose of a literature review is to place each work in the context of its contribution to understanding the research problem being studied. Describe the relationship of each work to the others under consideration. Identify new ways to interpret prior research. Reveal any gaps that exist in the literature. Resolve conflicts amongst seemingly contradictory previous studies. Identify areas of prior scholarship to prevent duplication of effort. Point the way in fulfilling a need for additional research. Locate your own research within the context of existing literature, very important. Types of literature reviews. It is important to think of knowledge in a given field as consisting of three layers. First, there are the primary studies that researchers conduct and publish. Second are the reviews of those studies that summarize and offer new interpretations built from and often extending beyond the primary studies. Third, there are the perceptions, conclusions, opinions, and interpretations that are shared informally that become part of the lore of the field. In composing a literature review, it is important to note that it is often this third layer of knowledge that is cited as true even though it often has only a loose relationship to the primary studies and secondary literature reviews. Given this, while literature reviews are designed to provide an overview and synthesis of pertinent sources you have explored, there are a number of approaches you could adopt depending upon the type of analysis underpinning your study. Types of literature review. There are many types of literature review and the following types of the literature review are the most popular in research studies. Argumentative review. Integrative review. Historical review. Methodological review. Systematic review. Meta-synthesis literature review. Meta-analysis and meta-synthesis. Theoretical review. Argumentative literature review, as the name implies, examines literature selectively in order to support or refute an argument, deeply embedded assumption, or philosophical problem already established in the literature. It should be noted that the potential for bias is a major shortcoming associated with argumentative literature review. An integrative literature review reviews, critiques, and synthesizes secondary data about the research topic in an integrated way such that new frameworks and perspectives on the topic are generated. If your research does not involve primary data collection and data analysis, then using an integrative literature review will be your only option. Historical review. Few things rest in isolation from historical precedent. Historical literature reviews focus on examining research throughout a period of time, often starting with the first time an issue, concept, theory, phenomena emerged in the literature, then tracing its evolution within the scholarship of a discipline. The purpose is to place research in a historical context to show familiarity with state-of-the-art developments and to identify the likely directions for future research. Methodological review. A review does not always focus on what someone said, findings, but how they came about saying what they say. Method of analysis. Reviewing methods of analysis provides a framework of understanding at different levels, that is those of theory, substantive fields, research approaches, and data collection and analysis techniques. How researchers draw upon a wide variety of knowledge ranging from the conceptual level to practical documents for use in fieldwork in the areas of ontological and epistemological consideration, quantitative and qualitative integration, sampling, interviewing, data collection, and data analysis. This approach helps highlight ethical issues that you should be aware of and consider as you go through your own study. A systematic literature review requires a more rigorous and well-defined approach compared to most other types of literature review. A systematic literature review is comprehensive and details the time frame within which the literature was selected. A systematic literature review can be divided into two categories: meta-analysis and meta-synthesis. When you conduct meta-analysis, you take findings from several studies on the same subject and analyze these using standardized statistical procedures. In meta-analysis, patterns and relationships are detected and conclusions are drawn. Meta-analysis is associated with the deductive research approach. Meta-synthesis, on the other hand, is based on non-statistical techniques. This technique integrates, evaluates, and interprets findings of multiple qualitative research studies. A meta-synthesis literature review is conducted usually when following an inductive research approach. Narrative. A theoretical literature review focuses on a pool of theory that has accumulated in regard to an issue, concept, theory, phenomena. Theoretical literature reviews play an instrumental role in establishing what theories already exist, the relationships between them, to what degree the existing theories have been investigated, and to develop new hypotheses to be tested. In the earlier parts of the literature review chapter, you need to specify the type of your literature review and provide reasons for your choice. Your choice of a specific type of literature review should be based upon your research area, research problem, and research methods. Also, you can briefly discuss the other most popular types of literature review mentioned above. What you should include in each section: introduction, methods, body, discussion and conclusion, and reference list. Set some context, provide information about the field of study, the relevance of the chosen topic within the field, and the focus of the literature review. Help readers understand your approach. Describe the criteria used to select the sources or the way in which you have presented information. A chronological model has different paragraphs for different time periods. A thematic model has subtopics based on different themes. Prepare a complete reference list that includes every important detail of all the sources you have referred to. Summarize the main contributions of significant studies. Raise and discuss questions about the topic and field. Clearly mention gaps in research, if any, and possible suggestions for further study.